Lingyang is the most underrated character in Wuthering Waves. After playing him for a couple of days now, he has become one of my favorite characters to play whenever I log into the game. In this video, I'm going to break down his kit to help you know how to play him effectively for more damage and have lots of fun while doing it. Lingyang's whole kit is centered around dealing endless combos, which is something I particularly like about him because I like to flex on my enemies while punching them endlessly to death. If you like martial arts or like to stay in midair and flex on your enemies, then Lingyang is the character for you. Lingyang has two modes of dealing damage. The first mode is to chain your resonance skill with your basic attacks at the right sequence and deliver a powerful blow with your fifth basic attack that will send your enemies flying. The unique combos required to pull this off will be explained later on in the video. The second mode of dealing damage is tied to his Forte circuit. As you may already know, every character in Wuthering Waves has a unique mechanic attached to their kit called the Forte circuit, which defines their playstyle. For Lingyang's Forte circuit, it allows him to stay in midair and deliver a flurry of kicks. This will be explained in detail later on in the video. And while I have your attention, be sure to like the video and leave a sub because it helps me out tremendously. For Lingyang's normal attacks, he can perform up to 5 consecutive attacks dealing glacial damage. However, there is a unique mechanic attached to his 5th basic attack called Feral Roars, with a really high scaling when compared to his original basic attack scalings. This will change your 5th basic attack animation as well. The way to achieve this is to use your enhanced resonance skill together with your basic attacks. Yes, I know this might sound a little bit confusing, but don't worry, it's my job to make his complicated kit simple for you to understand. Just keep Feral Roars in mind because it will become clear once we go over his resonance skill. His original resonance skill is called Ancient Arts, which will allow Lingyang to perform a palm strike dealing glacial damage. His skill does not reset his basic attack string and does not have a cooldown as well. However, his skill has an enhanced version called Swift Punches that you can activate by pressing on the skill button after his 3rd, 4th or 5th basic attack. When done right, Lingyang will pounce on his enemy, dealing glacial damage. Remember when I said keep Feral Roars in mind? To perform Feral Roars, which is basically a powerful 5th basic attack, you have to use his 5th basic attack after casting your enhanced resonance skill called Swift Punches, as I mentioned earlier. But what the game does not tell you is that you have to use your resonance skill or Swift Punches in this case after your 4th basic attack and then follow up with a 5th basic attack which will trigger Feral Roars. Shortly after activating Feral Roars, your enhanced resonance skill or Swift Punches, as I mentioned earlier, will be available to you so you can cast it again and pounce on your enemy. What happens next is that chaining your resonance skill Swift Punches and Feral Roars will allow Lingyang to start his basic attack string from his 3rd basic attack. So you can use his enhanced skill or Swift Punches after his 4th basic attack and continue the combo string. This will allow you to deal high damage when you are not using his Forte circuit. For his Forte circuit, Lingyang will accumulate Lion Spirit, which can be found right here on top of his health bar, every time he casts his enhanced resonance skill or Swift Punches, his intro skill, and when casting his resonance liberation. When his Lion Spirit is full, performing a heavy attack or a basic attack after an intro skill will let him enter the striding lion state where he stays in midair, and your basic attacks will deliver a flurry of kicks called the Feral Gyrate. In this state, his resonance skill is replaced with Mountain Roamer, dealing glacial damage. His resonance liberation will allow you to enter the Lion's Vigor state, which will grant him 50% glacial damage bonus and reduce the consumption of his Lion Spirit when you are in midair. You can also enter the Striding Lion state after casting your Resonance Liberation by simply clicking on your basic attack if your Lion Spirit is full. He also has a second passive skill that will boost his resonance skill damage by 150% when he is in the striding lion state. This should be utilized whenever possible because it adds an extra 2.5 times the multiplier of your original resonance skill. All you have to do to achieve this is to simply use his resonance skill when he finishes the second flurry of attacks while he's in the striding lion state. You can easily achieve this by pressing his skill button after he hits this pose right here where he spreads his legs. That will be your visual cue to hit the skill button and deal more damage. For his weapon choice, the Abyss Surges is your best in slot and will also be given to you for free at Union level 45. This will increase your energy recharge by 13% and increases your resonance skill damage and basic attack damage by 10%, which fits him nicely because his Feral Gyrate or mid-air attacks are considered basic attack damage. However, in the early game, your free-to-play options are the Gauntlets of the Knight, which you can obtain by wishing on the standard weapon banner, and Gauntlet 21D. In terms of priority, the Gauntlets of the Knight, even though it's a 3-star weapon, should be your first priority because of the attack stats and a nice passive that boosts your attack when you use your intro skill. For his Echo set, the Freezing Frost is your best Echo set, which increases his glacial damage and resonance skill damage. The Lumpy Lumin Myriad Boss should be the first 4-cost Echo that you should equip because that Echo is so much fun to play and deals more damage. For his stats, you should prioritize attack percentage in the early game when you are below Union level 30. However, after Union level 30, you should prioritize more crit rate since the game starts you off nicely with 150% crit damage. You don't have to worry too much about glacial damage bonuses because he gains 50% glacial damage bonus in his ultimate or resonance liberation alone. The 2-piece Freezing Frost Echo sets will also grant you 10% glacial damage bonus, and upon using the Lumpy Lumin Myriad Boss whilst you are fighting your enemy will also grant you glacial damage bonus as well. You can later on balance his crit ratio, preferably 1 to 2. That means if you have 50% crit rate, you should have at least 100% crit damage. When you gain better substats, you can prioritize increasing his crit rate much further. Unlocking his second passive skill that we talked about earlier will allow you to utilize the full buff that the Freezing Frost Echo set provides. For his team building, I mostly play him solo and rely only on the buff that I gain from the Freezing Frost Echo set. But for more damage, his best teammates will be Verena and Baja. This is because they can heal you when you are in a pinch, and the best part is that they can use the Rejuvenating Glow Echo set that will boost team-wide attack after the healing. You can slot in a sub DPS like Sanwa or Mortefi and put them on the Moon Cloud Echo set, which will boost their energy recharge for casting more resonance liberation and increase Lingyang's attack if you switch him in with the character using this set. For his resonance chain, RC1 will increase his anti-interruption resistance. You don't need this unless you have skill issues. RC2 will provide you with 10 energy when Lingyang uses an intro skill. It's a comfortable buff, but not needed if you can perform his combos correctly, which can make you regenerate more energy. RC3 will increase your basic attack and resonance skill damage, not needed if you have a high investment build. RC4 will increase your glacial damage bonus of all party members by 20%. It's useless when you're playing solo. RC5 will increase your resonance liberation hit damage, which is good. And finally, his RC6 will basically increase your next normal attack after using his skill. Fortunately, he doesn't need his resonance chain to be good, but it's a good additional bonus and comfort of playstyle if you really need them. With all that said, let's piece together everything and show you how you can play Lingyang effectively. You first need to recover energy for your resonance liberation. You can do that and deal high amounts of damage with your enhanced skill, swift punches, and the basic attack combo that I mentioned earlier that will allow you to activate his 5th basic attack called Feral Roars. If you're not playing solo, then you can switch in your other characters for buffs and energy recovery and switch him in to deal more damage. Once your resonance liberation is ready and your Lion Spirit is full, cast it and simply spam your basic attack button, which will allow him to automatically enter the striding lion state and deal mid-air damage with his kicks. If your resonance liberation is far from ready and your Lion Spirit is full, simply use your heavy attack to enter the striding lion state and kick your enemies to death, basically. Also keep in mind when you perform a dodge counter, you will start your basic attack string from your 3rd basic attack. There is also a common misconception that you'll be vulnerable in mid-air, but this is false because the dodge mechanic when you're on the ground still applies when you are in mid-air. So basically it's a skill issue because you can perfectly dodge and counter attack just fine. However, I do acknowledge the fact that spending time dodging will make you lose a little bit of time in the air where you could be dealing damage. But I've played him ever since the game's release, and in my playthrough, the damage loss was not significant because you normally use his Forte circuit when you have an opening or when the boss is down. That'll be all for this video. I accept donations in the form of likes and subscribers. Also, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments and let me know which character you want me to cover next. I'll see you in the next one.